All right, guys, let's check out this Creation Elevation 24x16 hybrid rig with the quad cortex at the helm. We got a MagX underneath, MC6 Pro, a bunch of goodies. Let's check it out. All right, so the way that the rig is set up is to do two different types of instruments. Actually, I mean, you could do, a microphone in it if you wanted, but this is an acoustic electric setup. So what we're going to do is we're going to be able to go and on the left side, we have two different inputs, 1 and 2. We have the electric one, which is signal 1, as you can see on the screen, in stereo with a stereo effects loop. And then insert 2, input 2, is going to be your acoustic line. So you have acoustic line in 1/4 inch and XLR out, which is super convenient. We're going XLR out. Great thing about the acoustic is that we are going XLR out. So if we need to do any, flipping of, a ground lift to do anything or any type of tweaking, we can do it right here from the XLR output, which is super great. 1/4 inch outputs, 3 and 4 are going to be for the electric. We have a Goodwood Audio long line underneath. The reason for this, and people will be like, well, there's already XLRs on the quad. Yes, that's true, but we wanted something that had ground face and pad for the electric side. Also, it kind of doubles as, because the long line is like an SGI box, you can actually go in and put a receive at the end if you're going to run amps really far away. He could do that if he wanted, which is super convenient. Otherwise, he can go direct in, have all those options. We can utilize the XLRs for the acoustic section. All right, the way it's set up is actually, it sounds complicated, but it is actually really simple. We're utilizing the RJM Music Meg X, so that can do all the stereo pedals up top, which is really convenient. And we can rearrange the order if we wanted. There's a lot of great pluses to having like a Meg X unit on a board or on something that you need to be able to move stuff around really easily. But what we're doing is we're doing stereo in and out of the RJM Meg X. We'll show a display picture and I'll have a diagram right here. And then you can actually we're doing send 1 and 2 into the Meg X. And then out of the Meg X, we're doing return 1, 2. So the way I have it set up on here is this one chain. We're doing the left side. I have send 1, return 1, and then we have the cabinet panned left. And then we have the second amp, send 2, return 2, and we have the cab panned right, which sounds really great, as you can tell. That's just the H90, which is super cool. We'll do some panning delays and stuff so you can hear it, but it's a cool setup. So now we have the input 2 section, which will be for acoustic, which is super cool, and he can do all sorts of different stuff. He can have both instruments plugged in. He doesn't have to unplug. He can keep them in wherever he's gigging. He can just quickly grab a second guitar, plug in. He can run an acoustic through the electric section if he wants. There's zero issue why. This second section is just going to be set up for like acoustic, more tweaking, EQ, those kind of things. We are going into 2 AC30s. That's just my preference with these 112 UK Celestion 15 cabinets. All right, here we got the microcosm. We're going to move on to the LVX. If you have headphones, you can put them on. You can hear the panning between the two sides with the LVX. Moving on to the mood. Super cool. Definitely got to be in the mood for it. We got the generation loss. The great thing about this is obviously I have it all saved, but if he at any moment wanted to build another page, have a different configuration of amps, only have an acoustic page, only have an electric, there's a lot of different options. He can just bank up, go to a completely different save patch. Obviously, the routing and everything will be significantly different. Like this one is out completely different, so he'd have to change some of the routing. But for any reason, if he's all the way, say like here, that was an acoustic patch. You can hear him come on. So he can move all the way to this patch, but any moment on the MC6, you just gotta tap it. Actually, just hold it, and it goes right back to the acoustic electric page. Have it programmed. Obviously, it can be a hidden switch. I just did it as a hold, so when he holds it, it's not like something that if you like. So if you pick, say you pick this one, okay, we'll just go with something. Okay, say we're on that one. If he just taps it, it does nothing. So he won't accidentally just tap it. He'll have to hold it to get it back to that page. So it's just kind of like a proof thing, so it doesn't happen. The MC6 is going into the Mega X underneath, into the Quad Cortex, and then it's going out to the rest of the MIDI pedals, MIDI box, and everything. The reason for this is because we don't want the quad controlling the MC6. We want the MC6 to be able to control the Mega X and the quad and everything else. So that's why you see one MIDI in. Fully customizable. We'll go ahead and I'll put the electric down. I'll put it on acoustic, and we'll bring up some acoustic patches now. All right, so checking out the acoustic side of the board, we have input 2 going straight through. We have a simple volume boost on it, reverb, delay. We can always let's add like a modulation or something. So as you can see, there's a lot of different options with this board. You have an acoustic section, you have an electric section, you have everything that you need to be able to do to go through a gig, swap guitars. You could run your acoustic. Like I said, you could switch the input to be 2. You could run the acoustic section. You could run 2 different acoustic chains. Stereo acoustic if you wanted. If you really wanted stereo acoustic, you just have to go through the first chain, which isn't hard. But then if you wanted mono, you could have so many options, 2 electrics, whatever you wanted. 2 electrics, 1 mono, 1 stereo, 2 acoustics, a bass, and a guitar. There's a lot of different options. Really cool, flexible board on such a compact setup with a lot of MIDI capability between the MC Pro, the MegX underneath, and the Quad Cortex. So we got the expression going into the quad, both toe and the normal expression. So we just all across the board have a ton of options. Everything is MIDI'd. All the Chase Bliss, the Maris, the hologram, the H90, everything is ready to go, and we're gonna have fun. Have a good one, guys.